What's good, people? It's the Rap Roundtable here. Your boy Jarv, the Rap Snob, Diddy the Balance, the homie Mace. We just need y'all to like, share, and subscribe when you tap into the videos. We're trying to reach 5,000 subs and eventually 10K subs. And with your help, we could definitely do that. Especially people who watch the videos and don't sub. You watching, we appreciate it. But the subs help us run it up even more. For our people who are already sub, make sure you hit that bell right next to the subscribe option. Pick all. When you pick all, it allows us to feed you what you need to get from us immediately. If you don't hit all, you'll get it when YouTube decides to give it to you. But if you hit all, you get the streams, you get the community posts, you get our regular uploads, you get everything. Hit all, help us run these numbers up, 5K, 10K, build a Rap Roundtable brand. Tap in with us. Peace.
The Rap Roundtable.
Drillmatic has finally dropped. I know we thought it was pushed back, but it dropped on time, August 12th. So, of course, after a 2-hour marathon, the Rap Roundtable is here to react. It's your boy Jarv alongside Dini the Balance, alongside the homie Mace. Sincere is on vacation. Shout out to Sin. But fellas, game is here. I don't even know who to go to first because it's like, does anybody love game here? Is there a game apologist at this table?
I'm a game apologist. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Yeah,
okay.
I'm a game apologist. I was saying on what's good, y'all. First of all, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
But yeah, we can get right into it. Like, I am actually a game fan. Not the musician, not the man. You know, very suspect in his movements over the last couple decades.
Man,
but
he's a questionable cat with some of his decisions. I'll agree to that. But the music is there.
Music's always been there, and that's what's kept him relevant. The fact that he's always dropped dope music, and Drillmatic is more the same. Let's keep it real, y'all. Like, for all the hype, for all the antics, for all the the pop up in Kanye videos and the Eminem baiting, Game delivered, bro. Drillmatic, long album, man, super long album. I had to listen to it a little bit last night, a little bit this morning, because I couldn't get through 30 straight tracks, 2 hours in this joint, right? But he absolutely delivered. I mean, it's a lot to take in at once, pause. Yeah, pause on that one. Might have to edit that one out. We're gonna get banned by the end of the year. But so there's a lot of topics, a lot of features to digest, a lot of lyrics, because this album is wordplay heavy. Game came with it, like he's spitting, I don't want to say as good as ever, but he has not fallen off one bit.
Okay.
And he still seems to be at his peak on rhyme levels. Now, although this was advertised as like a Hit Boy Game album, he only really has a handful of joints on here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything he produced is on point. Change the Game joint is crazy. We all like Easy already, but I'll say, and I'll let y'all get into it before I completely just review the whole album. I'll say it's a very, very good album. A lot to digest at once. But the only thing is that Game at this point, and I feel like he suffered from this on his last couple albums, is that there's just there's no theme. There's no like sort of direction. It's just a lot of dope music, a lot of dope lyrics, but it's kind of all over the place. So that's how I'm feeling about it right now. How are y'all feeling on the first listen?
Danny, talk to me, bro.
Man, 2 hours of any artist, even the ones you love, is a lot in 2022, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not as on board with it as you are, Mace. You know what I'm saying? I'm about halfway with the albums. Out of the 31, I maybe like 14, 15 joints I'm really fucking with like that. Lyrically, it's very sharp. My gripes with it are not lyrically. It was either the feature was bugged out, the beat was just not what I wanted it to be, the sample was used in a weird way. Those are like my real issues. But as far as him rapping, I gotta agree, this might be the sharpest he's been in a long time. For the records that I do like, I was really tapped in. I was hearing flavors actually, man. I was hearing Nas flavors on the shit.
Yeah.
I was hearing whole flavors. I was hearing Kodak flavors. I got little notches of Kendrick and Cole. We got some shady flows on there. We got some drill flows. This might be the first time in a long time I did not like a Fabio feature, which is very rare because I love when Fabio features on the album. This was a very mid Favi I got on this, which I did not appreciate. 2 Chainz showed up, which was just a lot of shit on the album went a lot of ways I didn't think it was gonna go. But I'm halfway.
That ASAP feature went. That ASAP feature went.
ASAP feature definitely went.
To hit back on what you said, man, I wasn't the biggest fan of Easy. And I'm still not really the biggest fan of it now. Like listening to on the album, I still really can leave it alone. Voodoo I thought was fire. Shout out NBA YoungBoy. You know what I'm saying? Making his rounds.
22
the
young
old
boy,
heads
man.
fuck with YoungBoy, man.
Like young boy, he gave my respect. You know what I mean? Doing what he's doing as an act, statistically, and creating a whhole wave. You got to give it credit where it's due. So shout out to him.
That's a fact, Jav. Change the Game. The best part of that song to me is Ty Dolla $ign, bro. I didn't like the way they flipped the sample. I didn't like the way Game rapped on it. I thought Ty Dolla $ign's voice was as close as you could get to the actual sample that they used last time. I thought that was dope. But yeah, man, like there's a lot of fire joints. I want to let Jav get his shit up before we go through the track list and all that. But yeah, I'm not gonna rank it yet, but it's a
as
good
far as the samples,
there.
Danny. But before Jav gets his chance to talk about the album, I have to agree, Dave. A lot of the samples, and I won't even say that they were necessarily used in a weird way, but almost like, well, yeah, some were used in a weird way, and other samples were like not changed at all. It was like literally the same joint that you're used to.
Yeah,
it's like I think, and I'll let Jav get right into it, but I think Game is like we're all from generally the same era, so we all have the same nostalgia. We all grew up on the same shit, so it's like somebody who grew up in our era. This is like, you know, they're using the samples that we all grew up on. They're using the features that we all grew up on. So it's like it's very.
Like you grew up a New York nigga though, from the way the albums.
Listen, man, Jaw, get into it, man. Get into it, Jaw. Then he gonna get me started.
We spoke about this on New York Bias about who or what the template was prior to the South taking over. So it's like a lot of guys are gonna sound like they're from New York or be inspired by. Heaven forbid we say that, people get upset. Oh my God, you guys are so arrogant and all this and that. But it's like, bro, like if we were, it's like being fast food. If we were the only game in town for a very long time, the elite game, the commercialized game in town, of course people are gonna emulate it. It's not being arrogant. It's just the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? When people were selling coke, we were chasing the first cut before people started cutting differently, right? And you know what I mean? Like the first coke dealers were emulating each other. That doesn't make the first coke dealer arrogant. It just means he was the first one.
Imitation flattery.
Jaw Montana talking that weight talk. You heard?
Plug talk.
Flag.
Yo, Benny, we need another tape. But when it comes to this album, boy. 2 hours, an hour and 59 minutes, and brother, I put this tape on, probably this album, pardon me, at about like 12:15 last night. You know what I mean? And I ran through it, and it's, you know, in this era where you're getting these 2-minute songs, the first thing we do, we talked about it on the pod, we go and we check the length of the album before we get anywhere else. We check to see how long this album is, and I was expecting it to be like maybe 100 minutes. You know what I mean? A couple of 2-minute songs in there, and really making it happen in that regard. But Game went vintage.
Yeah,
a lot of these songs are 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes. So once I saw 30 tracks, 31 because the Nipsey joint was blanked out, 159 minutes. I'm like, God damn, bro! Game, who wanted that, bro? You know what I mean? I know it was 30 tracks, but 100, an hour and 59 minutes, 119 minutes.
That's a lot.
Bro, we asked for 3 verses, and this man will give you 3 verses and a guest feature, though. Bro, like, he give you 3 verses plus the feature.
Bro, it was a movie. He gave us 3 acts, bro, 3 stanzas. That was a full-length, feature-length movie we got. right there.
10-minute long songs.
But to the songs, to the album, it was a cool listen. I mean, in certain pockets, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not on board with Mace either, but I'm not gonna pan the album. It got in certain part of the pockets. I would say Act 3, which is the last 10 tracks, we'll call it. It got a little tedious on the first half of Act 3, and then I felt like the people who put the track list together, whether it was Game or the A&R or whoever put it, because I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they felt the momentum start to die down in the last 10 tracks, and then they tried to pick it back up on the tail end. I'm not gonna say they were successful in doing that, but I feel like the first 15 songs, if that was the album, fire album. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna get into the tracks just yet, but once we get to like What We Gonna Do and Fortunate, around that area of the album, that's when it starts to get a little shaky for me.
It's a rough area.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like overall, for 30 official tracks from Game, 119 minutes, the rapping was there. Can I get into the critique a little bit? Like, both of y'all said that the rapping was sharp, but I feel like Game himself suffered from himself on this album, being that it was so many songs and so many verses from him, because he didn't cop out.
Yeah.
He didn't give you 30 tracks and a feature on all 30 tracks. He gave you himself on this album.
That's a fact.
But the issue for me is like the bars were very repetitive. There was 100 Nipsey Hussle references, 100. I'm exaggerating, of course, but a lot of references to the tat on his chest or on his body of Nipsey Hussle. A lot of times he referenced Hove. A lot of times he said Compton or Bompton. A lot of times he mentioned something happened.
Mad Tupac references.
References.
Blood
a couple
references
of Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? like saying he can never be cramping all of this and that. And it's like, bro, like, he repeated himself so many times that by the end of the album, it was like, bro, at this point, somebody should have stopped you in the creative process and said, all right, maybe 20 tracks, maybe 18 tracks, maybe 16 tracks. Because for you to be this repetitive, that means that somebody in his camp is not being truthful to the game. They're telling him, yo, bro, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this. You know what I mean? I believe that it started off as a Hit Boy project, and then it just mutated into what we ended up with at the end of the day, where Game just went full Game. And of course, in the stream era, because everybody's talking about albums, this is the stream era, but this is just the press play era. So it's like, let me run these streams up, because if I give you 31 or 30 tracks of me, I'll recoup something, because there's so many songs with my name on it that I'll make the bread back. And I don't think this album was made because it was 31 tracks of fire, 30 tracks of fire. I think it was made to make money via streams. He played the stream game with this.
Yeah, he is. And that's a great point. The album severely lacks quality control.
Yeah.
Like the Nicki Beach joint with French Montana and Tory Lanez has no business being on here. The Meek Mill joint has no business being on here. There's a few more. The joint with that had the girl sampled in the beginning of like that viral, girls is getting everybody killed this year. Yeah. That joint had no business on here. So that and like Job said, you could, if you're a keen listener, you can almost tell, okay, these are the Hit Boy sessions. These are the joints that he probably recorded, maybe 6-7 months ago, and these are the joints that because Game is a very pop culture reference rapper, so you can tell, he must have just recorded these joints in the last couple months because he's talking about shit. So sonically and lyrically, you can kind of tell which sessions were which. Just like Job said, towards the end of the album, it drags a little bit, and I don't know why, because I feel like I like the Eminem diss track a lot more than other people, but to go through 27 songs and then put a 10-minute song at the end of the album, it's like, what is he doing?
I mean, we're not gonna just gloss by that song. You know what I mean? I mean, it is the elephant in the room here. So let's get to it, Dini. What do you think about this 10-minute diss track to Eminem?
I think that record should have been cut in half. That the little cab scene is where it should have started. It should have dropped into that second verse, and it should have cut off right there. That would have been a clean, smooth diss track for Eminem. That'd have been something I feel like Eminem really. If nothing gets Eminem back into form, if this don't do it, nothing will, bro. This shit was an attack on humanity for Eminem. Like, as far as covering ground, it might overall be the best M diss I've heard, like maybe ever.
Okay.
Like he covered every gripe I've heard you have, every gripe I've heard Sin have, every nigga I've argued with about Eminem. He glossed some sort of that conversation in that verse, bro.
10 years wearing a do-rag and not one wave. He really got it, this man, bro.
23 years and not with no effect on the culture, some shit. He said a lot of shit that I just was like,
11 albums and 10 don't get played.
It'd be hard to defend this. Listen, if you're watching the Rap Roundtable right now, as you should be, you got some work to do on this one, man, because this was clutch. I was quite impressed. The first verse to me was just a bunch of jargon. I get it, though, because that's Eminem shit is a lot jargony, but that second verse, man, the second verse gets worse.
Wait, it gets worse. Yeah, you know, I liked it. You know what I mean? It's very, that first verse, you know, the whole I'm tying Stan into this and I'm getting his brother. Cannabis did that like 20 years ago when he was dissing M. So the gripe about it is that he covers all ground, but you can tell, okay, he listened to the Cannabis M disses, he listened to the Ja Rule M disses, he listened to, you know, the Nick Cannon M disses. You can tell he just kind of listened to where everybody else, kind of the MGK joints, like he just kind of like listened to everybody else's disses, but he's very talented lyrically. He's a chameleon. So he can kind of absorb all of that and kind of give you something palatable back. You know what I mean? So I will say it was very vicious. Our Game is in that class of Joe Budden, of Ice Cube, niggas that get super personal on these disses, super nasty with it. You know what I mean? Not just good diss tracks, but just nasty, personal, like they shit, breaking man. You down type shit. So I enjoyed that. But it's not in like some sort of pantheon of disses for me. But yeah, you know, he was vicious on that joint. It's not a classic, but very effective in my opinion.
Hardest M diss, I could put it like that.
Yeah.
Hardest M
I could go
diss.
with that.
I guess I gotta go the other way. I mean, when I did my my breakdown of the album, just to keep it real simplistic, I would either put a thumbs up or a thumbs down next to each song. You know what I mean? With a few exceptions of songs that I thought were pushes. When I got to this diss record, I put 2 thumbs down next to it. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had 2 hands full with thumbs so I could give it 10 thumbs down. Because y'all really dragged it. Like this record isn't good. You know what I'm saying? Like this, to me, like if I'm looking at this from the lens of not a hip hop fan. I'm looking at this from the lens of, if I'm Eminem, do I respond to this? No. You know what I'm saying? Because the verbiage is there, but the vigor is not there. The song quality itself, the song don't bump, the song don't go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The fact that we had to wait 5.5 minutes before we got a good diss verse, atrocious, ridiculous. I'll keep it 100 with you. When I saw, because again, you know, we press play and then we just sit back and we play the music. When I got to the M track, the first thing I looked for, because I know what Game does with these diss songs, I said, hopefully he kept this within a 5-minute range. Yo, I let out an audible groan, pause, when I saw that it was 10 plus minutes. I'm like, oh my God, this is what we doing. Now I understand the theatrical nature of the song. He really tried to make this an event. But the song is not good. I don't even like M, bro. Let's be clear about this. He said everything I want a rapper to say about Eminem. He talked about the culture vulture. He talked about the skibbity all around that Eminem does. All of the nothing saying Eminem does. But I felt like Joe Budden delivered a more scathing diss to Eminem in the past. I feel like MGK had the best Eminem diss in the past. If we keep it in 1,000, Eminem lost to MGK, but the masses gonna tell you that M won that. You know what I mean? Game, if like Dini said, if Game would have gave us a 5-minute diss with a little bit of the stand theater, some of the jokes about him rowing about nothing, I'm here for it. I gotta repeat that. But the song itself was not good. Honestly, this song is a big skip. As we move on with this album and we return to it, this song is a big skip. And that's another gripe that I have with this album. 30 songs. How many of them do you really have earmarked as, I'm going to come back to this? This is gonna be a song that's gonna be on like the Rap Roundtable year-end playlist that we put out. How many songs from this is really worth, like Dini says, there's some joints on here. Out of 30, there's not many for me personally that I'm coming back to. They're good on a front to back play, but where are the standout songs? You gave us 30, game. Where are the standouts? Which one? To me, I'm looking at it right now. The one I know for sure I'm gonna rock with is LA Land. That one, to me, that was one of the hardest joints on there. The joint with Cam, unlikely. The joint with ASAP, I'm gonna come back to. But what? Like even the Big Sean gave you a fire verse, but the song isn't good. You know what I mean?
Smoking the Polo Lounge is heat though.
Yeah, 30 songs. What's the playback value on this? We killed Kendrick for the replay value. I don't know if this album has replay value.
I'm gonna pause on the replay value of it because right now I feel like I'm agreeing with you, but only because I feel like I forced myself to have to listen to 30 tracks straight. Yeah. So it's like I could be like, you know what I mean? Finally, I'm done with this album. You know what I mean? So I feel like I might have those vibes going on right now. When I'm able to listen to it without having to do homework, I may be able to, you know, find some redeemable joints for the year.
And Job, I don't remember, but how'd you feel about the shit with Big Sean?
I just said that. I said Sean got off. I felt like Sean pen sound like a sharp. Like maybe it might be album time for him, but the song itself, you could throw it away. I didn't put an emoji next to it, but it's like only because Sean's verse was so fire, but the song itself, like Hit Boy, like this is what y'all did that IG post of the 3 y'all for that. Like throw that out.
Very petty putting the Big Sean joint right after the Eminem diss. That was very interesting.
And he did say that Sean is the hottest out of Detroit, which is the stretch. I mean, M is M at the end of the day.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. Listen, man, between what Game just did to M and what Lupe did to Royce, Detroit got to fight back, man. Ain't y'all supposed to be the land of the battle rappers? Like, what's going on, man? Kendrick did Sean dirty. Y'all taking L's in every battle, Detroit. Step y'all game up.
Lupe undefeated, huh?
Lupe did Royce. Royce don't even want to rap no more, bro.
We haven't heard nothing since.
That one went over both of y'all heads, huh?
What'd you say?
I said Lupe undefeated. Y'all missed that.
Oh shit!
Listen, man.
On the
intellectual for these cats, man. Too intellectual, man. They can't debate them out here.
Offline, man. Rap it like you want it, Shakespeare.
You heard Lupe LeVar Ball undefeated. Never
rap it like you want it. Job, rap it like you want it, bro.
Damn it, man. But imagine me taking the video down. Couldn't be me.
That's what y'all do. We don't get bullied at the Rap Roundtable.
Yeah, I mean, but
you gotta brand your shit.
I guess the last critique we can have before we pack this up, because y'all got jobs. I'm off. You know what I mean? The samples. Some of them. May said that the album, you know, it lacked direction. I believe that what it was aiming for overall, that the title don't mix with the direction, but what he was trying to do, I felt like he was trying to like deliver an ode to hip hop by way of these samples, these highly notable samples over the years, songs that will elicit a reaction, kind of like when we go to these when we watch verses, right? When we hear that beat drop, oh, you know what I mean? It gets you hyped. I think he was going for that. But I feel like a lot of the samples should have been left alone. I only felt like only a couple of these samples deliver. I'll say before I pass it to Dini, a perfect example of this, I didn't like the Change the Game joint. I didn't like the extra LA bump they put on Change the Game. The Money Cash Hoes joints was cool. The joint he did, the Mobb Deep sample, the Getaway, fire.
That Getaway, yeah, that was fire.
That's the other joint that's gonna have a lot of replayability, but it's more about the nostalgia than what Game did. You know what I'm saying? Followed by the Prodigy sample at the end, getting into the next track. I didn't really need that song after that. But to me, like, the biggest like universal love at the end of the album, like, bro, like let SWV and Janet Jackson keep their records. If you're gonna flip it that way, then you should have left it alone. Like, like if you're gonna touch these classic songs, either you do it right or you don't put it out. That's the issue I have. What do you think about those samples, D?
You took the words out my mouth, man. But I felt like you said it was more of an ode to hip hop. I felt like it was more of a let me jerk you niggas with the shit that you already love. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Pause. like I don't even gotta reinvent new hits, because once you hear these old joints, you're gonna kind of already gravitate to the record. And I thought the execution on that was not the best because I actually strayed away from more of the shit than I gravitated to him. It's the walking sample though, like when you think about it, like as a musician, like Game has quoted everyone that is to be quoted. He has named everyone. He named names. He has named everyone who needs to be named. Like this kid really, I just feel like they should have, like you said, they should have sat down with somebody in the room who really was honest and truthful and said, bro, this one is not going to do it. This one is going to do it. Some of them samples really do take me back to a place where I'm like, wow.
The album overall, it general, and this may be a first day listen kind of take, but it felt very mixtape-ish. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to put everything that I recorded out. I'm going to go hard with the lyrics. I'm going to get all of the features. But, you know, and this is as a person, I'm a Lil Wayne and 50 Cent fan, and their mixtapes are better than their albums. So, you know, I'm not trying to shit on the mixtape, but it gave me very mixtape vibes on this album, like a prequel to the actual album, like type of thing where, you know, I just want to show y'all how nice I rap type shit.
This is almost like one of them soul tape joints that Loso used to do where he flipped a couple of these samples. You know what I mean? Shout out to Loso.
Tough though when Loso flipped them samples though.
That Loso joint, that Just One Thing I threw in the chat. Loso might be getting back in shape, y'all. I'm just saying.
So
A Marie in the video. Shout out.
Thanks.
I can't. Go ahead.
He should follow the lead of the Lobby Boys, man. You know what I
mean? Maybe this is what's coming up next. Maybe he's invigorated by the Lobby Boys, you know? But back to Game, solid album. I'm questioning the replay factor. I already know y'all in the chat killing me for saying that. But at the end of the day, my argument is this. Like everyone likes to say it's too early, this and that. My counter to that is we've been listening to rap for a very long time, bro. Like there's no rookies here. We're all grown men who've been loving this culture for decades. We kind of already know what's good from what's bad or what's great from what's just okay. Off the rip, we know, bro.
First listen.
So I already know what listening to this album is like. I'm not gonna listen to this song again. We got to be honest with ourselves. And for me, there's a lot of songs that I'm not going back to. It was cool front to back. It's new music, so it always gets that bump. All right, it's new. Let me hear what the next joint sounds. Let me hear what the next joint sounds like. But long term, there's only a few joints that I'm going back to, and to me, that's a disservice to Game fans. Mace, can you save me from people feeling like I'm killing Game right now?
Overall, a good addition to Game's catalog. He always delivers when it comes to his role in it. Now, the production may not be great, the themes may not be great, but isn't that an executive producer's job, an A&R's job?
Can he be A&R though?
Hey, can he be A&R? It's like uncoachable NBA player. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they can't play within the system, and it hurts them. You hear me, LeBron? But you know, that's the issue. He delivered on his part of the deal. And like he usually does, just quality control. Like if this was maybe 10 years ago and niggas was not making 30-song albums, this would have been, you know, a great album, you know. But this era, man, I don't know why, man. I mean, we know why, streams, but 30 songs, bro. Like you bound to get some stinkers in there.
Would we say it's a quarter water though? Is it a quarter water? Like as far as only a quarter of the joints you really gonna, I'm only really gonna spend back like a quarter of the records, bro.
I don't want to do that to Game, bro. I don't want to do
that.
It's like seven joints I know for sure I want to spend these back.
It's more like it's more like when you had a few extra dollars in your pocket, so you want the 50 cent juice. It's like that. That was if you're from New York, you know that was an event where you could cop the little 50 cent sperm killer joints. You know what I mean?
Listen, Tropical Fantasy, they don't even make that shit no more.
Top pop joints, Paul,
bro. It was an event.
They don't make those neither.
You cop your hero for $3. We aging ourselves because inflation. The $3 hero with the 50 cent juice and the dollar bag of chips. It was an event, bro.
Sad, bro.
Come on now, you could still probably get a couple peanut chews mixed in there. You know what I mean?
Man.
Swedish fish, whatever your advice, you know. But anyway, fellas, yo, Mace, take me home, bro.
Listen, man, it's the Rap Roundtable here with another one. We here with Jaw, the point guard, Deanie the balance. I'm your boy Macito, voice of the young people. You know what I mean? The heroes you need. We holla at y'all soon, man. Love.
Yes, sir.
You good?
Yo, episode 52 out. I forgot. Episode 52
Episode
is out
52.
right now.
52.
52, not late, on time.
Tap in.